I am excited for Sunburn. Anyway, having a quick snap around the map, seeing who we've got in play. For Frantic, we have CL as the Italians playing in the yellow. His opponent going to be Rubenstock playing in
By the way,
the grey as the Italians.
I instantly changed to friend foe colors because I feared that gray and yellow will be really tricky, but, well, just go ahead and let's go with CL blue for the whole series. I think that might be a bit less confusing and easier to see.
No worries, from now on we will run it like that. Let's have a look. So what have we got in the setup, Nilly? Probably this is where you really come into it. I'm so happy to be here with you today. Just a caster who knows so much about the game and such a fantastic name. Give us kind of a little bit of your overall, man. What are you expecting to see on this map, especially from these players, because you've played against them before.
I've played against them before quite a bit, that's true, and it feels like Rubenstock. I don't really know him as a great water player, but in general, those Chinese guys probably not really known for their super strong water play as well. So I'm curious to see how they improved their matchups. Italians, though, probably the strongest div and the one they trained the most.
Alright, interesting to kind of see. Anyone you think has the direct map advantage, just looking at it, because it doesn't look too bad to me. I guess we've got CL's a little bit closer to the water in terms of his wood line, but anyone kind of having a specific win there?
Shorter distance is quite nice, and having deer close to the TC is what I really love. CL for now didn't even spot 4 of his sheep here, but Rubenstock already pushing some of his deer as well. I think a tiny bit of an advantage for CL, but shouldn't be game deciding.
Looks pretty even overall, I completely agree. Like, if we look over towards Rubenstock in the red, we'll see he's kind of got the gold towards the back of his map. Same thing goes for CL, pretty much across the board here. Both of them have got that back-style berries as well, so not going to be really influenced too much from the coastline. Doubt we're going to see a boar steal on a map like this, so really I think it's going to come down to a little bit in terms of what we see out of the plays here. No one's got a direct advantage, and I love it when we see no one with a direct map advantage that can kind of take advantage of that and win the game through there.
Yeah, absolutely. It obviously is a game where we have some variance when it comes to map generation or maybe like lucky scouting patterns, but Mediterranean, most of the time, not really the case. Distances are just so long, and that's why laming is not really a factor, and we can see it all comes down to perfecting the build order, and for now, both absolutely on point. Very similar dock timing.
Yeah, I was just watching that dot timing come up there, and it's literally just about second for second, so you can see these guys know exactly what's going on here. Like you said, Rubenstock's been playing a lot of 1v1 recently, getting a lot of practice in, and I guess even if that's the case as well, the favourite overall, I would say, probably would have been CL going in. Not sure exactly what everyone's doubting, but let us know in the chat who they were thinking, who's you supporting this match. But my guess would be CL's kind of the favourite going in here, but honestly, I think Rubenstock can pull off some magic.
We will see. When it comes to tournaments, CL so much more accomplished, especially in 1v1s. Rubenstock, I think, never really played a 1v1 tournament. Played well in Nations Cup games, performed there in, for example, the Black Forest, but he isn't like super known as a very strong tournament player, as we saw already only 2 games in all the other events before that.
That has me excited in general, actually. Knowing that someone's not known for their 1v1, this is where people can slip up and give them a little bit of an edge. And I'm hoping, I doubt CL's going to do it, but if he, I don't want to say plays too aggressively, or plays too overconfidently is definitely the words I'm looking for there. But if he's a little bit overconfident in it, and he kind of runs his, I don't want to say runs his mouth a little bit, runs his build order, let's say, that's where things get really bad. And I'm hoping we don't see kind of an upset along that, but Rubenstock already scouting out CL there, so he's actually come across the map trying to find his opponent. We've got Rubenstock finishing up Loom now, just before he clicks up. CL on his way up already, and there we go, Rubenstock just behind.
Indeed, he is behind 11 seconds, shouldn't be the biggest difference. Not the greatest build orders I've ever seen, Pop 24 for both here, but yeah, well, go on to the point that you mentioned earlier. Maybe underestimating Rubenstock, because if you face the Finns, you're kind of scared to face like the Zuppies, maybe Pike on water, the Max, Willies, all those beasts, and Rubenstock not on the hyper scary list.
Well, that's it, and I'm hoping that doesn't kind of get away from CL here, and he doesn't get too overconfident and then have to fight his way back the rest of the series. But at the same time, I'm totally okay seeing that. The build order, again, looking neck and neck. We've got 4 fishing ships out for Rubenstock. We've got 4 fishing ships out for CL. CL going for his trademark walls nice and early across the map there, just down towards the south side, and that should be a pretty easy wall off for him too with that forest there, so I think it's going to get it up nice and quick. Obviously, we're going to have probably a little bit more of a water battle going on first. Both players dropping down their second docks. And here we go, I guess. Let the dancing begin.
And look at that, CL, he's somewhat confident that he will win water or that Rubenstock is playing a tricky strategy. He already started to wall, and that one villager means less wood income for him, maybe later fire galleys, and maybe a small advantage for Rubenstock. We will see how it develops.
Ooh, it's a good point to make. When you're on such a low economy overall at the moment, committing that one villager does basically take it away from your overall resource pool, and if you can't keep up on water, if you need more units to survive, anything along there, that's where you run into a little bit, I guess, of that tricky situation. Third dock getting put down for CL now as well. Third one going down for Rubenstock. So still very similar. And here we go with the fire galleys.
Yeah, indeed, very similar. But I spotted a small mistake here by CL. He's not adding villagers on gold. Look at that. He only has 4 villagers on gold, sent too many on sheep early on. And his docks, well, he does not have enough gold to really produce. And you see on the other side, Rubenstock, he added more in gold, as you should if you go for those fire galleys. And I think Rubenstock, he might get an advantage here because he can keep his docks running.
There we go. Here comes the second pop for Rubenstock, and it looks like he is starting to get a couple more units out. CL stuck on the other side of the map. The good news for CL is he is being aggressive here, which does mean he has a little bit more time before those galleys of Rubenstock can kind of move out across the map, whereas CL's already on top of the fishing ships, trying to do some damage, get some harass. But luckily, we did have a little bit of a nerf to the fire galleys recently, so they're not just absolutely blitzing through those fishing ships.
Luckily for Rubenstock, but unfortunately for CL here. Otherwise, he could have gotten those 2 kills, but both of them surviving. And we see military count 7-4. And Rubenstock, he might be looking like he is even adding a 4th dock. Would be super unconventional here. Maybe just a small misclick. And now demos are out on the map as well. We could see some big hits, maybe even against the fishing ships.
Rubenstock is not letting this one go to an all-fire galley war right now. Like you said, there's the go. 1 hit. 1 down. There's another hit over on the side as well, taking that fire galley down to 28. Looks like he's going to utilize those as best as possible. And Rubenstock at the moment coming out with a clear lead.
Yeah, look at that. CL, he's floating so much wood, not really keeping up the production, not really properly using multi-queue as well. Adding 2 demo rafts there in 1 dock. The other 2 docks were idle, only 1 idle now. And Rubenstock has a sick advantage. Similar villager count, will get the fish advantage though. Or will he? Looks like heavy losses on both sides. CL with a nice advantage when it comes to farms. But I still feel that Rubenstock has a small advantage here.
I am just watching fishing ships getting obliterated right now. All of these units at the moment, it has been a rough ride. Rubenstock, though, looks like he is taking the map pretty quickly here. He has a huge amount of military out on the field, 10 compared to the 4 of CL. And even then, CL pretty much pushed back into his docks. Rubenstock taking a massive lead here at the start of the game.
Oh man, and what can you really do if you're CL now? He keeps producing some fire galleys, has 2 demo rafts. Wow, Rubenstock super clubbed up here. Oh god, this could be heavy losses. And yeah. That was like 4 fire galleys traded off against 2 demos. Huge hits here for CL. Maybe comeback on water is, well, more likely than we thought 30 seconds ago.
Look, with hits like that, it's definitely possible. But looking at the low amounts of fire galleys still on the map for CL, I don't know if it's going to be enough. He's getting some good trades, like that fire galley trade-off we had for the demo ships over here. That's awesome and exactly what we want to see. But right now, just look at the numbers.
Oh, yeah, numbers 7-3, villager count 2 more for CL. I love his amount of farms, only now adding some on gold, but some land aggression should not really happen. It looks like Rubenstock will be completely walled off, and that even with Stonewall. He will be safe.
Yeah, playing this one super safe at this point. He knows exactly what's going on. CL's even got a tricky villager moving across the top of the map there. He's going to discover the stone walls. And he's going to find he can do nothing about this now. He's going to need to find a way back into the game that's not going to be a sneaky attack land push. Needs to figure something out here, and I'm not sure exactly what he can do. And there's the barracks. Has he seen the wall? He has not seen the wall.
Indeed, and that's just in between everything. He hears a gate now, so what is... Rubenstock? Is he? Oh, Rubenstock had no idea about that area. That's why he wanted to quick wall there. Is pretty scared, but actually it is all cliffed off.
This could be rough. If CL doesn't actually see that wall there, he might overcommit to a land attack here. And there we go. Looks like he should be about to see it. There we go.
Yeah, not much should be coming from him. Let's take a look. He has no market and no blacksmith. So he has the resources to click up to Castle Age, but no buildings there. The barracks completely doing nothing. Blacksmith so late, and Rubenstock on the other side buying 100 food, and he will be up, although he invested so much more in water because CL simply forgetting his buildings.
And that's going to happen. That's the thing. This game has so many points. And there's a transport ship from Rubenstock. Looks like he's going to get aggressive here. What's the play? Let's have a look. Is he going to pull villages, or is he going to... What's he going to pull here? Because I don't think I've seen a military building come down for him yet.
Oh, Cardi, that's so Rubenstock style. It's only one villager, and he will just land around to build a dock. To get more fishing ships out, to have a bigger advantage on water, and he will play this so defensively. You see a lot of other players, they will land with like 3 stables, archer ranges or something. Maybe he'll still surprise me with the stable, but it's kind of weird that he only took 1 villager.
Let's have a look, see what's going on over here, because I don't think he should be seen by the walls of CL there.
Okay,
and
barracks.
No, not going to be seen by any of that. What's he moving across to build? That's our question right now. And he's doing some fishing, because I guess he just wants a holiday.
He thought he had the barracks, now rushing the barracks out at home with 5 villagers, so that the 1 villager isn't building it a bit slower. And once the barrack finishes, I believe we will see some stables from him. And those knights.
That would be nice. CL's not going to see this coming, the position here, unless he goes to reinforce that top wall. We do have some extra docks down in the north for CL. Looks like he was trying to get some sneaky units out, but look how quickly Rubenstock was on top of that one. Fire galley's already there. And there comes the stable, exactly like you were saying. Scale biting on the way. Whoa, this is going to be rough.
Oh boy, and CL, well, he is redocking. He keeps producing some, but military numbers obviously on the side for Rubenstock. And he will get the war galley upgrade a bit faster as well. Or did he cancel it? He did cancel the war galley upgrade. Interesting. So that might be some loss there. He prioritized the +2 defense for the knights, which obviously isn't too important. +1 attack would be so much better against villagers. But, well, we will see. The knight surprise against someone who's absolutely unprepared should still do massive amount of damage.
I was wondering there if CL actually managed to see the transport ship with that fire galley, but it looks like he may not have. I've seen no prep at home. He's got an extra town center coming up, but here comes the first knight. This is what's going to throw him off. Let's see how defensive he can play this one. And that knight, of course, is just going to wreck through the economy right now. Just cut through everything like butter. Second stable on its way down as well. And town center on its way up as well for CL. But that knight's already in there doing the damage it's going to do.
Yeah, but as I said, forging would have been better. Only 4 slices then instead of 5. So could have gotten 2 more kills there. Now, obviously, he's not taking a lot of damage since he has all the defense in the world. But CL, he will have some TCs up. I think we will need to see a siege workshop from Rubenstock if he wants to keep his aggression on land.
Whoa, that's it. If he wants to push this one, he needs a way to deal with these town centers. 1 or 2 mangonels just to kind of get aggressive here. Really good idea. Even could push these villages off the wood lines, but I'm looking at the village account right now, and I would say Rubenstock's going to be able to push this one to an advantage, but there comes the siege workshop.
Indeed, siege workshop. A lot of villagers queued up here for CL, as we can see. All TCs working. And now defensive monastery tries to get some converts against the knights, but that obviously won't be the greatest thing if mangonels are out on the field. And now he's getting pushed off his main goat spot, needs to run to the other one, which will be super exposed to some mangonel attacks.
Look at these knights. They don't care. They're just sitting under the town centers. They've got the +2 arm upgrade. They're just getting whatever kills they can, delaying this economy in general at the moment. Look at the score difference. Rubenstock has been playing a remarkable game, but this mess of fishing ships in the middle here, giving him a huge advantage when it comes down to the population count.
Indeed, 3 villagers ahead is Mr. CL, but 13 fishing ship behind. That's just brutal. Second monastery, well, will be really tricky to get the defense rolling. And as we said, Mangonels alone, completely uncounted at the moment. He needs to pull villagers, is eating some shots, not taking too many losses, but, well, he needs to get something that kills Mangonels. Monks, not the answer for now.
Oh, I'm just watching this and I'm trying to find answers right now for CL, and it's getting harder and harder every second. We've got this Mangonel pressuring the town center. There's just knights in the woodline, and there we go. Apparently the answer to Mangonels he's got is villagers. One knight's gonna show up and probably end that one.
How could I not come up with that idea? And well, he might even get the Mangonel. Honestly, like 14 HP here is not really repairing. He's blocking quite nicely though. Can the villager get 5 more hits? He's trying to get it. Oh, gee. Aye. That's solid.
Hey!
Buying
There you go.
himself a big time. Oh, I didn't expect that one. Rubenstock now with stillness increasing his eco there. But
We'll
still, like you cannot always send like 3 villagers to the front and just let them die to stall a bit, because then you're falling behind in eco as he is now. Just a minute ago he was ahead by some villagers, but now 7 behind, and he might lose more against those Mangonel shots. Not looking too great for him.
Whoa, here come the knights. Man, the knights sitting in here pulling back, gonna get away from those monks. The monks pushing and trying to do what they can. Getting them out of there before they take too much damage. There's a convert on it. You can obviously use it to try and kill off a couple of these Mangonels, which is going to go for pretty much instantaneously. There's the second convert as well. Villagers again ganking up on that Mangonel towards the top. Fire ships are there to help defend it, and it looks like it's going to get away.
Oh, indeed. Mangonel got away, but 2 other Mangonels died. He now has some knights to kill the other Mangonel. Some nice conversions for sure. CL, he is holding on, but I think he needs to do more. He's eating another big shot in the face of his monks there. Will get his own siege workshop, but now close to 20 villagers plus 13 fishing ship behind.
This is just getting into... man, the gap is just pulling further and further away now. This is where it's really going to start to hurt. Because these converts, they're good, but end of the day, these converts are just allowing him to survive. He's not exactly pushing back from this. He's putting up an extra monastery at the back here as well. And the answer is that Rubenstock's just done so much damage at the moment. I don't know if CL's going to be able to pull it back. Even if he manages to get Rubenstock out of his base, Rubenstock's just so far ahead in terms of everything now. His economy is huge.
Indeed, economy advantage, map control, still all the water in the world, and he can just decide. If he wants to continue building army, then CL needs to build army. If he just moves away and CL builds army, CL can't attack. Rubenstock can get onto Imp and then finish the game with condos as well.
And there's the monastery as well. We've got a monastery out in play for Rubenstock, trying to get some converts on these knights back. The Mangonels getting some good hits against these units here, against the monks in general. A lot of villager picks kind of happening around. CL trying to grab as many relics as he can, but again, he's just doing everything he can in his will to survive.
And is it really surviving or is it stalling? That's a big question here. In what way is he advancing? Maybe if he was on stone and could get onto Genoese, he could maybe do something on land. Let's take a look at the resources of Rubenstock. He's only sitting at 600 food at the same time. Very little gold, but population, he is 50 ahead now.
We've got the rams out from CL, so he's trying to clean this up as best as possible. The Mangonels, though, are going to be able to deal with this if the knight count stays up, but it's starting to look like Rubenstock may be starting to not abandon the idea of this fort and this landing, but really he wants to get up into Imperial Age, and he can kind of move from there a little bit more effectively. Because if you look towards the north, it looks like he's dropping some extra barracks here.
And indeed, that's what we said earlier. He saw, okay, CL, you have a solid defense. I will fall back. I will abuse the market. I'm going up to him. And good luck defending in my incoming 20 condotieros. Luckily, a spearman scouts those barracks, though. So maybe CL will get a hold of... Needs to go on to the castle and get some Genoese out, but it will get really tricky. By the way, in the meantime, Rubenstock added a casual extra 13 fishing ship here as well, going up to 26 now.
What? This is an insane eco. I'm just seeing all these fishing ships just crowding the center of the map right now. Hopefully we should see some extra docks get dropped around as well to help that one out, but man, this economy right now, it is just snowballing into an unstoppable monster. I'm not sure how CL is going to be able to deal with this one overall. He does not have the resources. This landing, despite the fact it's getting pushed back right now, still been an absolute godsend for Rubenstock. He's been able to delay the economy of CL so much, force up such a defensive play that he's just been able to just push further and further ahead. He's just forging a path of his own right now.
Indeed that, and well, CL, he doesn't really have the mobile army to pressure Rubenstock now, and Rubenstock, he's just preparing another landing and just needs to get like 3-4 barracks out, and then the Condotieros, I said it before, will be very, very tough to stop for CL. Maybe mass monks, mass castles, but then again we are getting into another scenario where it's just trying to hold, not to win.
Here comes the Condotieros. This is a little bit of a different situation here. The stone walls are going up, trying to defend this one as quickly as possible. He's got some archery ranges in the back as well, so it looks like he's looking for that transition. But will it be too little too late? He's still so far off Imperial Age, and the tech difference right now for Rubenstock, Imperial versus Castle Age tech, such a difference in the armor, in the damage output. This is rough situation in general to be in.
Okay, well, CL is on the way to Imp. He still has reasonable amount of gold controlled. He still has his stone. And Condotieros, well, they will be strong early Imp. But if CL is surviving this, and now he's building barracks as well, he still has knights, he still has monks. So I feel like if he fights off the first 15-20 condos, we might be looking into an even game, but that's still a long shot for now. Population 100 to 160.
That's such a difference. Just looking at the fishing ships, looking at the villager difference. Then you've got the military difference between there as well. Really committing in hard to these barracks now as well, looking at it. A couple of knights towards the top there, just taking out any excess houses. Really trying to keep his units as busy as possible. And I'm just looking for anything else that really Rubenstock can do or CL can kind of do. I guess if you were CL in this case, if you had to kind of fight your way back into the game,
Transporter just went down with all the front villagers. Sorry for that. And what would I go for? Well, Condotieros early Imp, in the late Imp, probably your favorite unit is the Genoese crossbow. But for now we will see what they can do. We have a lot of them at the top prepared there. Want to see more transporters, and we don't, we shouldn't forget that still water control is completely on the side for Rubenstock. Now a defensive castle. CL, I like his moves, how he's defending this.
No, it's good. This is working out. He got some amazing converts there, really turning the numbers. The castle as well, going to help pull this down. End of the day, we are going to see basically Rubenstock take the number advantage here. But it's just a matter of if this castle can deal with everything quick enough for us now. Villagers getting pulled away, but there we go. The Condotieros getting taken down slowly but surely. How are we looking in this top section? Still hasn't busted through the wall. So the entire assault right now is coming from the south of the map.
Yeah, no real attack from the top. Needs to get some transporters there. He's sending one transporter. And something I want to mention, yeah, it looks like Condo against Condo. But if we just compare the upgrades, it's +4/+4 against a single defense upgrade here for Mr. CL. Some monks in the back. Just want to see the landings, and then he will pressure the north so heavily.
That was a lot of monks for Rubenstock there to catch. CL not looking like he's in the best position now. He did look like he may have had a little bit of a handle on it, but not looking so great. And here comes the attack from the north, like you said, using that transport ship, moving those Condotieros across, and look at this, straight into the wood line. Whoa, and the speed on them as well. They're going to be able to chase them down so quickly.
And GG, Rubenstock was leading on the way to cannon galleons, was getting his range upgrades for his galleons as well. He was so well set up, and CL, I felt he lost in an early Feudal Age, but then he had great defenses, trying to give Rubenstock the chance to throw the game, but not with Rubenstock.
that's how this was played out. Rubenstock doing an amazing job for his team here, really showing why they can't be messed with. Taking it exactly from early Feudal Age. As soon as he had that water control, he was looking amazing.
Yeah, yeah. So nice. Obviously, Italians might be the best civ to abuse winning water. Cheaper fishing ship, you can go for drill nets, then the early condos. So many options for you. You have solid knights, you could have gone for crossbowmen. It is really tricky to lose water against Italians, and Rubenstock is solid game number 1, and now the Chinese, they should be scared.
Oh, absolutely. This is the point where, because I think we're only in a best of 3 series at this point, aren't we?
Indeed, first stage is only best of 3, so a lot of variants, and we will see. Let's take a look at the stats here from Rubenstock, what he did, and we will take a look at the statistics. The winner is Rubenstock. Military count, in the end, he had more kills, more losses because of 23 conversions of CL. That was quite a solid defense with all those monks.
He put up the defense well, but like we said, was it surviving or was it just basically delaying the inevitable at that point? But the defense was good. We can see CL's got a lot to bring to the table here. We've seen him all across the entire tournament do an amazing job. But really in these 1v1 situations, I guess that's the thing. It's up to the next game now. This is what's going to decide it.
Indeed, and well, let's see what they have in store for us. The next map will be played on Dry River, a map that a lot of you probably won't know, but we will explain it to you once we jump into the game. I'm excited to see how well prepared Rubenstock will be on this one and what civilizations they will go for as well, because I've seen a lot of different mindsets for this new beautiful map.
As far as map goes, this is what we want. This is a map that encourages aggression. It's got nothing to hide behind, wallings. This is what I'm excited to see, guys. And you'll see, if you haven't seen Dry River before, you're about to see it. I'll introduce some players, then we'll let Nilly kind of hit you with a little bit of that info about the map, and we can essentially move from there.
Indeed, and we will continue, I believe, with Friend Foe colors, right?
Yes,
I think makes
absolutely.
Most sense. Yeah. And no more water maps from here on, so red, blue, clearly the best.
Let's have a look at what we've got. In the north of the map, playing in the blue, we have Rubenstock as the Huns. Towards the south, we have CL playing in the red as the Franks.
And those are interesting civilizations. I personally have a completely different approach for this beautiful map. It at the start looks pretty similar to normal Arabia. You have your normal woodlands, normal resources, elephants instead of boars. But once looking at the center, we have an incredible amount of shawfish and barbecue Turkmen. What do we know about shawfish?
Shawfish are the fastest gathering food in the entire game.
Okay, let
From
me
here, basically players.
Colors.
All good, mate.
Okay, CL is blue, right? Yeah.
CL. I did not have CL as blue.
Yeah, we need to switch that. My bad. So, fastest food income in the game for sure. And I want to see that they're going for the center quite heavily. But the problem, though, on this map is if you go for that center, well, your villagers are very exposed to some early or even late aggressions here. Tough to wall this area.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of maps just encouraging playstyles like this pretty much throughout all the new expansions, throughout all the new tournaments. Basically, they're just trying to force players to take a risk by moving away from the town center, pick an area that's not so easily defendable, and really kind of risk it for that advantage. And when you look at a map like this, where you've got basically all these shawfish in the center of the map, you can drop 1 mil and basically be sorted for the next 10 minutes of the game. A couple of zebra out there as well, some ostrich. You can really kind of have a time of it. The downside to it being, it means you need to push out, you need to defend against it, you need to get aggressive early. Which, in general, that's kind of what we want out of a tournament game, though.
Absolutely, and well, that's just the beauty of the map. If you want to have the fast food, you need to take risks, you need to put yourself out there on the map and then can take the big advantages. And as we can see, now the first villagers are getting sent to the center here by Mr. Rubenstock, who plays the Huns, and we can see brutal uptimes with all the shawfish in the center. maybe going wild with pop 19, pop 20 stuff. Oh, but CL, his second elephant is going back.
I just saw that happen, and I'm not overly worried about it. It's going to cost him a little bit in terms of time, but it's not going to hurt him too badly. Villager didn't have any hits on it extra, so it's not going to be too much of a stress, but got to remember those elephants do have a little bit more. There we go. A little bit more food on them, but there goes the scout for Rubenstock. That's going to cost him.
Oh yeah, and let's take a look. What did he see of the map? He scouted nothing on the really shorefish. He has no idea about gold, wood, positionings. That will hurt quite a bit, and especially if he wanted to go for scouts, that will be so much weakened now. Heavy loss for Rubenstock after the 4-minute mark.
Especially as Huns, he doesn't have the scouting information. He's going to have to build extra scouts to get up to a decent number overall. It's going to cost him a lot when it comes into his timing attacks because he doesn't know where those resources are, like you said. And even then, on his side of the map, I think he's only scouted the 2 stone piles and 1 gold. Oh, looks like he's got 1 tile there as well.
Oh, he has his main gold spot spotted and another one, so that should be fine. Most important thing at the start is just to see how the center looks like and where he potentially will go for shorefish. Won't really spot that, and looks like quote-unquote pop 20 for Rubenstock after losing the scout. Only is pop 19. Still quite early. CL, 1 pop later.
There we go. So looking a little bit different here in terms of the build order, but not a huge amount overall. It looks like we can see Rubenstock kind of committing to the mill a little bit more there, actually throwing his barracks up now as well, so trying to get that early aggression. And CL not committing quite so much, but is going for a split lumber camp as well. And it looks like CL will get that scouting information that's also important in this game. Should see the barracks there as well.
He probably is. Let's take a look. He didn't see the barracks yet. And did he see the gold villagers? No, not really. So for now, he doesn't really know that Rubenstock will go for man-at-arm aggression. And if someone goes man-at-arms, adds 1 to spearmen, and you're only trying to approach the game with some scouts, you might get into a dicey situation.
This actually has me excited. I'm thinking this is what he's going to go for here. If this is the play, this could be super rough, because obviously going to be quite easy to get up into man-at-arms, especially with the gold villages he's got there. On a map like this, where it relies on you being away from the town center, taking these shorefish, this is where the man-at-arms really, truly strike well. And the fact is, moving forward with these villages as well, he wants to make something happen here, and I'm excited for this.
Let's take a look. For now, he didn't scout anything. Wants to build a tower there in the center, as it looks like. Goes for the aggression. Still no man-at-arms upgrade. Was lacking the gold because he didn't have the wood for the mining camp there early on. And is now pushing CL away from the shorefish, which is basically the main benefit of this map.
Absolutely. And if he can manage to hold on to these shorefish while basically CL doesn't have the option for it, this is going to give him a huge eco advantage again, which is basically what essentially drove CL out in the last game. Pushing up a tower there as quick as he can. Man, that's some low HP on those villagers. If those man-at-arms can get in there and do the damage. Just a couple of villager kills here, and it's going to put him in a great position. But there's 1. Might potentially get a second, just. There we go.
Okay, 2 solid kills for now, and low HP villagers, 4 of them jumped into the tower, so can't really get attacked now. He will in the end get all this killed. Now even moving down to the tower again, lost a lot of HP there, 1 with only 2 HP left now, and he's walling the tower to trap the villagers, but they're getting out in time. Can we see another villager kill? Rubenstock not really committing. He's trying to get out of here, but forced a lot of idle time.
That's really nice overall. Obviously, the tower not going to stay up at this point, but managed to push away from the shorefish, where if we have a look over at him, he's still got quite a few villagers over there. Did lose 1 to the scout, though, from CL. That's some really good make-up play there. Really making a little bit of a difference, and 2 more scouts rocketing out across the map now as well.
Let's take a look what path they are choosing. They're going through the center. Will they get another kill? Yes, they will.
Whoa.
Switched up there, and now microing back. He gets another kill. CL on point with his micro, not taking a hit from that spearman as well. And 42 KD for him at the moment, under heavy pressure before that.
That was some fantastic play from CL. He's really managing to make every unit here count, every single push he can get. Might even be unable to. Whoa, that Spearman coming in just in time to save that villager there. CL really showing why he's such a fantastic player now. These scouts out on the field. Whoa, this has been fantastic.
And Rubenstock does not want to take more losses, tries to get his quick walls up as he should be. Indeed, so will be safe in that regard. Walls is gold, wood and stone quite beautifully. At the front, he's putting his spearmen and, well, back on some aggression there in the center. Still has his men-at-arms with one spearman, now another archer. CL still in some pressure in his face.
Yeah, it's a good job. And there's another villager. CL is just making these scouts work for it right now. They're not getting any downtime. Even then, looking at the push from Rubenstock right now, it's getting harder and harder to push into CL's base. He gets more and more well defended just from the last push that came in. He's got a tower on the front here, getting a tower up behind on the watch there as well, just to make sure nothing can push in against this lumber. Lumber and stone in the back, still looking quite open, but the stable with a couple of these units sitting back at home now can be able to take these villagers out quite quickly because they're getting low.
Yeah, you say wood and stone protect, or not protect them in the back, but you need to run through tower and TC. Quite a risk for sure. Let's take a look. CL still dancing with his scouts here. But we have to say, CL got massive amount of villager kills. But in the end, Rubenstock, 2 villagers ahead and now going for a big attack. I think that makes no sense. Too many men-at-arms, too many scouts, and some spearmen around. I think Rubenstock would win that fight.
Go for it. Take the fight.
He was just waiting for another spearman. He's now going for it. The archers are going back. Spearman, they will get some kills. All the villagers idle at the moment. NCL, well, he took that one okay for now, but a lot of idle time being forced. And still, spearmen and scouts alive. I think Rubenstock can pressure this again. Lots of low HP villagers as well.
He can potentially get a couple of kills here, really try and deny the tower. Obviously, more scout cavalry can be on the way out as well. Playing as Frank, so no access to bloodlines, but does have the 54 on those scouts off the bat. But here we go, look at this. This tower right now, it is just getting absolutely gutted. Villagers doing their best, but we've got one man-at-arm in there, 86, 87. But look at the damage going down on these villagers.
Well, so much spread damage as well. Rubenstock was just focusing down 2-3 more. He could have killed those for sure. Has no fletching, so that was, yeah, what was missing for him when it came to the real damage output. But look at that, CL now with more farms, still not on gold. He will stay in Feudal Age for quite some time. Let's take a look at the results from Rubenstock. Absolutely going for a lot of more Feudal Age as well.
Yeah, when you just compare the base at the moment, you have a look at Rubenstock's town center, not a single farm up. Looking at what CL's had to invest from his woodline here just to get his food count back up, especially for a scout play as well. It's been a very slow going for him overall, whereas we have someone like Rubenstock who's sitting on all these shorefish at the front here. He's just having an absolute ball. Look at, he's got three spears just hanging out at home.
Yeah, but I don't like the positioning, honestly. If you see like 2 villagers in the south, not great. The left one's not really protected. The right one's not really protected. The spearmen need to be at the edge, and not a single spearman at the gold. And CL, he's a guy who will punish you for that.
Looking at this, it is just brutal. Everyone is taking every advantage they can get here. That's 2 villagers from the gold gone. I remember that was walled in. Looks like he decided to delete that off, get a couple more villagers on there, and, well, you pay the price for that.
Oh, and woodline is overchopped as well, so maybe he's going in there. Villagers having all the HP in the world, though. Spearman trying to chase this down. Aggression in the south continues. Another tower against the gold. Defensive tower by CL, though. It's tricky. And we said before, gold was very defensively, but all of the gold spots to the side. At the moment, CL, tell me, where will he get gold in the future?
True, that's the thing. When we look back across over to Rubenstock, at least he has one of these golds hidden away at the back of the map. Whereas, essentially, CL, he kind of has to push out towards this, the eastern side of the map here, where he's got pretty much every single one of his golds. If Rubenstock towers this section up, where he's already started on that front, there's nowhere CL can really push out to.
Oh, and now going into the wood line here, as we mentioned earlier. Let's take a look. Seems like maybe 1-2 villager snipes and then get out of there. Or maybe he's trying to fight this off against the spearman. But Rubenstock is not really realizing it and might take a lot of losses. Now focusing down the spearman. Oh, la 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 la. That will be like 3 villagers dead for sure.
CL is just making up the deficit now. He's doing a phenomenal job. He may not have the shorefish at the front of the map. He may have had a really tough opening, but right now, he's just pinching back every villager he can to try and make this one work. Still very close in the villager counts. We've got 33 for Rubenstock, 32 for CL. But at the end of the day, the rate CL's going at, he's just taking him out one at a time, and it's starting to add up.
Yeah, it's just he's making the best out of it again. But again, a rough start for him there. Not spotting the aggression again. Spearman out of position. Scout sneaking in will get more villager kills. KD so much better for CL, but the resources are just so much better for Rubenstock because he has all that center control and all the shorefish. But he is in it again. He will get more villager kills.
I am just watching the magic happen with these scouts now. Look at that. There's one there. That village is trapped behind the mill, behind the palisades. Look, there's only 3 spears here. It's probably enough to push these scouts away, but end of the day, the rest of the map now, look at this. We've got like 10 villages on a straggler tree towards the north of Rubenstock's DC.
Oh, pretty brutal.
And on the mill again!
Oh,
it's another 2!
Oh, just going for it over and over again. Rubenstock, maybe some farming could have been an option. As I said, spearmen, I don't like how they were positioned. Then woodline could have been walled more. I think he should have included some gates there as well. The good thing is only for him that he's still having the big chokehold at the side where CL wants to get gold. CL now adding a second stable. It looks like he will continue with massive production of scouts. This guy's relentless.
This is really interesting, actually, on seeing the way this gets played out. I'm really happy about this. Rubenstock really utilizing the market there and starting to advance up to the castle age. Gonna be a little bit different, but look at... Oh, fast wall, they're gonna save that villager. I was worried there.
So was I, and yeah, indeed, utilizing the market. Only 5 villagers on wood at the moment, though. Tries to get something more up. Now is stable at the front, still having his defensive tower. CL now leapfrogging forward with another tower, tries to get his gold back. Castle Age timing will be a huge difference though.
Oh, absolutely. As we know, like an Imperial Age army versus a Castle Age army, a Castle Age army versus a Feudal Age army, there is a huge difference in just output and resource cost there. Overall, a couple of knights can bring just an entire Feudal Age army to its knees.
Oh man, indeed. And well, CL is now 5 villagers ahead. We'll go up to maybe even 6, 7 villagers ahead. We will see about that. At the moment, Rubenstock even losing his forward, can't get his stable up. And well, we say Feudal Age army against Castle Age army, but without a stable, no knights. And if he can just run away from all the soon-to-be pikemen and crossbows, get the towers up, he might survive this and get Castle Age, but he might also get pressured into the tower. Let's take a look. This will be heavy losses on gold. Okay, now he's moving backwards.
Alright, that's an exact point to make here as well. Being in Castle Age puts you in a great advantageous position if you can utilize it. That's the only thing I'm worried about, because we don't have the wood now for any extra town centers to go down. We can potentially get this stable up, but I don't know how he's going to be able to push into this. That's the thing. Without knights, he has no stable up at the moment. Without any of his upgrades, which he just can't afford right now, it's not looking great. I don't know what he's going to be able to do with it. And the scouts are at it again.
One knight out, not a single upgrade on him. This is tricky. Lost a lot of archers there under the tower. CL, he maybe didn't really realize how well... Oh, how unfortunate his resources were positioned there to the right-hand side. Rubenstock again, another tower there. He is so annoying this whole game as well.
He's been doing his best to put the pressure on. It's been working out quite well. We've got that one knight running around at the moment, and just looking at the amount of towers that's in the back of CL's base now, makes it really hard to really do too much with. He's scouting out, getting a little bit in here, but there's the double spear. Going to take out that knight quite quickly. And there we go. There's one in kind of a little bit of a position here, but so much tower fire right now. No extra upgrades on them for armor. They're getting cleaned up quite quickly.
Oh man, if like I only showed you like the base of Rubenstock over and over again, you would have said, okay, this is like a 1900 player against a 1500 player. Rubenstock is he's just losing villagers over and over and over again. That's just not walling them, the spearmen always out of position, not really chasing them down. But CL obviously like abusing the mobility of his scouts to perfection as well.
What is even happening here? Every time I look away and go over to CL's base, I just see this flood of CL move across into Rubenstock's base. And like you said, he's taking such efficient trades right now, despite the fact he's behind overall just a lot of positions right now, especially stuck in the Feudal Age. He's looking really good in terms of his count overall. Rubenstock hasn't managed to snowball this one out of control. But these Knights at the moment, they're doing what they can, but I don't think it's that much right now.
Yeah, not the biggest amount of upgrades. Villager count kind of evened out now. We see still not really getting any gold. Maybe an abuse with the market could have helped out. Then the defensive castle maybe over there. Control the gold might have been the better approach than, yeah, investing like 10 villagers trying to build 4 or 5 towers basically in the same screen.
Pretty much. We've seen Rubenstock has moved to an extra town center though, so now the game is really a little bit more in CL's hands in terms of how he wants to deal with this one, because obviously the villager production going to be a little bit higher, which is going to make a big difference overall. CL again utilizing the market there, selling off a bunch of wood. Hopefully we should see him go Castle Age very, very soon. Looks like he's saving up for it, doesn't have the exact amount of resources he needs yet.
Okay, but now abusing the market, and he will jump for sure. Has a stable, has the market. 36 minutes will be his castle age timing, but Rubenstock's aggression towards the gold will continue. Is building a siege workshop now there as well, and mangonels, they will do a lot of pressure. Still very little control for CL, but he keeps the aggression running, and he will get more villagers on the woodline again. I'm just missing foraging so badly.
Oh, these scouts, man. If you ever want to see a good example of a game of utilizing units as best as you can, as cost effective, this is the game to kind of look at. The way that CL has kind of handled these scouts, really abusing that mobility, getting into every nook and cranny, finding every advantage you can take to kind of keep this one going. This is the game to look at. CL, man, you've been doing a great job here.
Yeah, absolutely, and it feels like the game #1. Being behind heavily, but then doing all the right steps to give himself the chance to continue playing this. But Rubenstock, he keeps on his aggression. Mangonel now out, but all those towers, let's take a look what they can do. Rubenstock, still not a lot of upgrades on his military. Now both villagers lost there at the front. Scouts could come back as well, snipe the Mangonels. It feels like CL, he is controlling this. At the moment, it feels like CL might be my favorite, and I feel like I'm crazy by saying that.
No, I see everything you're trying to say there. We haven't seen a good use of this aggressive push at the front here from Rubenstock. He's lost his villagers, so he can't even be too aggressive with that mangonel because he can't repair it. And of course, the fact the towers are outranging it, going to make life a little bit more difficult there. He's been playing amazing in terms of basically the scout use from CL. So being able to kind of keep this army in a ball towards the frontier, not really let it push out. The fact that CL's now up into Castle Age, he's going to have a decent eco behind this. He's got the extra armor coming up. He's got the stables out, so he can make a swap in a knights if he wants to. I can see exactly where he coming from. This is absolutely perfect for CL, really.
Okay, let's take a look. He is going for some more raids in the center. Finally, Rubenstock has a TC up there. Rubenstock is ahead by 15 villagers, though. So it feels CL, he needs to get some big raids in, but what is a great opportunity? A woodline that is overchopped with unprotected villagers again. Oh, man!
This is the second time an overchop has absolutely cost Rubenstock. It's starting to... And look at this. The scouts should get away just about scot-free as well. Oh, using those villagers to actually block that section there, hoping that was intentional. But look at this! Now the stone's overmined!
Oh, this is like the double overchop at the left wood line. And well, in the meanwhile, we have the TC very aggressively here in the face of CL. But CL, he is fine. He is housed for the fourth or fifth time this game. Horrible stuff for him there. But still, keeps on the knight production, and Frank's knights, they don't need too many upgrades.
Well, that's it. They basically get the free bloodlines with the extra percentage of health on them. I'm looking at this kind of overall, and I'm just thinking, like, the amount of damage you could do with those scouts, the amount of damage you should be able to do with these knights should bring it very, very close back to even. And look at these villages get chopped away in the center of the map now. Rubenstock didn't even notice that for a good 4 or 5 villages to get taken out first. And,
Indeed.
man, those knights are out of there, again, without a loss.
Oh man, yeah. Lost a lot of HP though, but now he's going back into the top wood line. Let's take a look. Can he maybe debate some? Nice move back of the low HP knight. Will run away there. Will try to focus down on the pikeman. And will get some kills for sure. Lovely micro by CL over and over again. Got a spearman, a villager, now runs away. Rubenstock is trying to do some magic with the walls. Will lose yet another villager. At the same time, the pressure against the gold spot somewhat stopped.
I'm looking at the map right now. The only thing I'm super worried about is the fact that Rubenstock's putting up his 4th town center right now. I don't think I've even seen a 2nd town center from CL. This is where it's going to start to spiral out of control. If he's killing off villages, that's absolutely great. If he can't keep up with the production, however, of Rubenstock, that's where he really falls behind. We've got some villagers on the front now that can help defend these mangonels, keep them repaired up, so he can push into the towers a lot more effectively. The cavalry archers, once these towers are kind of pushed away, will just have free reign. But that's it. Will these towers get taken out?
We will see. Watchtower obviously could help enormously. Knights are trying to go for some more raids, which is, well, being put out on the wrong side. Losing some HP there for sure. And 2 mangonels with some repair. They should be able to take down the tower. And CL realizes he cannot really hold this one. And now villagers again going to the wrong side. Villager difference now up to 30.
Whoa, those villagers were popping the wrong side of the town. Man, the wrong side of the tower there in general. We've got 3 mangonels out in play. These are going to lay waste to these towers if microed correctly. I believe the knights are out across the map on a little bit of an excursion trying to find some damage to do. So really, he's got nothing at home to really help deal with this. He's got a single mangonel by the looks of it that's already been scouted by Rubenstock. I'm not sure he's going to be able to hold this for too much longer, especially with this Vill increase. Just, man, it's getting further and further away now.
Let's take a look. How's he still getting gold? At the moment he has 1 relic counting for him. Mangonel trading 1 for 1, not really the trade he needed. And look at that, queuing up 8 villagers in his main TC. Never a good sign that your production is running well.
Man, selling 1,100 wood back as well. Needs that gold so desperately. The Knights are doing a good job again. Looks like they've abused the gold there. They're just trying to find another place to push. But the town centers are just everywhere for Rubenstock now. He's going to be able to defend this. This is the problem that we're running into. This was working so well because Rubenstock had no way of defending all these villages. I say that, but look at the amount he just caught out in the center of the map.
In the center of the map? I'm just taking a look at the wood line.
The top near the wood line there. But he lost a lot of villages to those pikes as well. And is that a monk I hear?
Well, yeah, we had some conversions here against Rubenstock for sure. His gate kind of nicely working for him. Villagers again going more to the front. He was kind of jumping there before and losing just too many. Whoa. Now dropping down to 35 villagers here against the 90 of Rubenstock. I think if this mangonel is going down, he might be out of it. Rubenstock with a very strong performance, especially because all his CCs are helping him defend villagers in the center.
What? That said, CL again in the center of the map? Towards that town center, I just took out like another 5 villagers, taking a bad fight against the pikes there, but the raiding was really good. Again, managed to take out a whole bunch of extra villagers. And, man, look at this now. Rubenstock is just all through the base. He is just creating absolute havoc here.
Oh, and the GG. Well, what a crazy game. And well, we have criticized Rubenstock over and over again. It obviously is so tough to have the forward running towers, mangonels, and wall everything. Obviously, it's so easy to overchop at so many spots. Oh, CL, he was great by abusing it. The big problem was just that he didn't properly scout the barracks, didn't see the men-at-arms, and then was pushed away from the shortage, which is the great advantage that Rubenstock carried him throughout the whole game.
The trades there from CL were phenomenal. Rubenstock just outproduced him. That shorefish really showing well. It's so useful to have. You don't need to commit to the farms. The food increase that you get out of it in itself, just from the gathering rate, is insane. So being able to kind of hold that one out like he had, it showed exactly how strong it is. Even with this level of trading going on we had from CL, the map, man, that was a phenomenal game in general. It was just so dirty, so messy. This is what I want to see. But there we go. Rubenstock hammering it home at 2-0.
Indeed, and that's kind of surprising for a lot of people. And I want to take a look at the stats now. And that is statistics, right? Yep. And achievements are telling us pretty even KD. CL lost a lot, but killed so many villagers. Rubenstock, kind of the same story for him, but the eco. Just the better food income carried him, allowed him to send more villagers onto wood and gold. Just so sweet, and well, villager count was kind of the story of the game.
That gold difference there in itself as well is absolutely amazing. But yeah, the society right there, villager high 92 compared to 45. What is that kind of a difference?
Yeah, just brutal. And the game was over before we got to the 92 villagers. But, well, that was a great series, and